BBC Radio Solent.
With Alex Dyke.
Yes, here we go again then. Another day, another dollar. It's Alex Dyke live from the Isle of Wight studio for one morning and one morning only. Welcome to the South's Big Bin Morning Show. And we begin by asking you the question, have you ever used a private detective? Would you ever use a private detective? The team told me not to go with this one. They said you won't get any calls or any texts, but private detectives are back in the news. Well, they still exist. They seem to be a bit few and far between, but we found one. Andrew Cross, he's a PI from Southampton. Morning, Andrew.
Morning, Alex.
So, tell me, are you a bit of a rarity these days?
No, not at all. There's a lot of people in the industry, obviously some good, some bad. So, there's quite a wide variety of people involved. A lot of people come out of the police force and go into private investigation, but it's sometimes difficult to find a reasonably decent company that will deal with things. A lot of solicitors obviously rely on investigators who have a decent moral and ethical standard, so that's what we obviously stick to.
Now, back in the glory days of the 1970s when these guys were all over our TV, Jim Rockford was $200 a day plus expenses. That was expensive. How much are you guys a day now?
It depends what we do. I mean, we do an awful lot of different types of investigations, so that the fees vary. You know, we do tracing work, which is more desk-based. We also do things like surveillance, physical inquiries, computer forensics, fingerprinting. Depending on what you want doing depends on the cost, really, and it's very difficult to put a cost on something until we've actually got an idea of what's going to be involved. It might mean a team of people going out and doing some surveillance, or it could be something that we can find out within a few hours of desk research.
I would imagine a lot of big companies must use your services, but do you get many ex-husbands and wives who've got the budget to employ you guys to go and spy on the other?
We do that, yes. Yeah, we have done that, and we continue to do so. So, yeah, that's part of the work that we do. Sometimes, obviously, private client work can involve different things, not just husband and wife stuff. Occasionally, it's more sort of deep-seated problems within the family. Perhaps there's been a theft in the family, and they can't get the police involved. So, maybe we'll get involved. One of the sort of typical issues is perhaps money that's gone missing from something like a cash box or a jewellery box that's within the home. And what we're able to do is obviously take the item and recover fingerprints from the item, and then the family can come forward, we can go to them, take their prints, and then eliminate them one by one, or obviously point the finger at them as such as to who may have accessed the box who's not supposed to.
That sounds a bit Ruth Rendell to me. I can imagine that going, but do you ever get your teeth into something really, really exciting like, Andrew, I want you to fly to Monte Carlo, go to the casino, have a couple of nights there on me, but track that guy down?
Yes, yeah, but we have done things like that. In fact, a couple of us are off to Abu Dhabi towards the end of the month to go and do a job. Less glamorous end of the scale. I'm going up to Scotland for 2 days next week to go and do a job doing just that, tracking people down.
Oh, so very exciting at times then, and satisfying work, but is it ever a little bit dangerous? Is there ever the risk of maybe meeting the wrong ex-husband who finds out what you're doing?
Occasionally there are obviously precautions you have to take, but we do a lot of work for solicitors whereby occasionally we have to go and serve non-molestation orders and things, so normally it's on fairly unsavoury characters, but we always treat people with the same amount of respect, and really, you don't tend to shoot the postman if they bring you a red letter, so we do take precautions. There are occasions, obviously, where things crop up and people aren't particularly too happy about some of the things that may have happened, but generally it's what they've done that's caused the investigation, and they sort of vent their fury for a little while, and after that it tends to sort of die down.
If I'm a boss of a big successful firm in the south, and I don't know, I'm employing 70 or 80 people, and I've got one guy who's always on the sick, and I'm getting suspicious. Do I ring you up and say, look, give me some video, take some photos, big black and white ones like they do in the movies, the real floppy ones, you put them on the desk and the photo bends as soon as you put those. Is that the kind of stuff you do? Do you give me evidence that Big Joe, who says he's got a bad back, is actually been fishing with a few of his mates?
Oh, definitely. We do that sort of thing all the time. except we obviously provide nice big colour photographs, not necessarily black and white, but if you want them in black and white, that's your preference.
Yeah, I want them in black and white. I want you in a raincoat, and I want you with a magnifying glass in one hand.
Well, if the guy's off fishing, you probably need a raincoat anyway, so that you blend in.
And apparently a lot of the private detectives these days are young women in their early 20s, because they're always the, fat middle-aged blokes. We always think they're going to be detectives, but young women, we're not suspicious of them.
Well, no, we're not. We've got a couple of young ladies on our team, and they are very good at that sort of thing, because, again, like you say, it's nobody really looks, and nobody suspects that they could perhaps be sort of looking around or following them or quite what.
And you've got a detective dog as well.
Well, unfortunately, I'm looking after my colleague's dog while he's on holiday, and it's a bit yappy. It's only 8 months old.
Have you checked the collar to make sure there's maybe not some tracking device in there? They're not spying on you?
I hope not. It's been in my car, and it's been in my home for the last week. So, I've just thrown it something to chew up on the floor, which it's not supposed to have. So
what kind of dog is it?
It's a collie.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Andrew, thank you very much for talking to us. If people need your services, what do they do?
Well, they can go onto our website, which is www.answers.uk.com. We have a local site, which is PI Dorset, and also Solent I, which is our Southampton website. But I run the area of Hampshire and parts of Dorset.
That's all great, and that'll do the job, but it's not as exciting as Jim Rockford's telephone answering machine, is it?
This is Jim Rockford. At the tone, leave your name and message. I'll get back.